It's Mary and Amma, and we are back with Family or Fiance.
This is our first Family or Fiance that we're doing.
Yeah,
with you guys.
Super excited. But I watch it all the time, so I was like, might as well just review it.
Yes.
But we are doing Tara, and I cannot remember what the guy is. So we're gonna name Tara and Jay. I don't know what his name is. We'll figure it out.
We'll find out, and then we'll come back and tell you guys. But
so very interesting.
It's very interesting.
Apparently, this woman has some sexual hold on this man, and they have a very toxic, argumentative relationship.
Let us start with.
Slow down.
Let us start with. They met at a gas station, right?
Well, I didn't hear the whole story, but apparently he had jumped in her car while she was getting gas. And she said he was very persistent. And she was like, maybe I should, see where this goes or whatever. But she said she liked the fact that he was persistent.
Right. And they both kind of have the same kind of nightlife or something she was saying.
Yeah. But apparently they had a one-night stand. And they both didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And she told him that she had a child. He said he didn't have one, even though he does have a child, because he felt like, it's a one-night stand.
Later.
4 months later.
Yeah. And they were saying, they seem to, his cousin, I think, or her cousin, said it really well when she says she is gasoline to his fire. Something like that. And so they trigger each other. And even when they first came before the lady, the host,
they were arguing, like they were
arguing just about something very small. They were both like, nobody wants to give in. Nobody wants to be quiet for the other person to speak. In a conversation you have like, lulls in the conversation. Like it's like a flow. I flow, you hold, you come, I hold. Like, I give, you receive. They're not doing that. There's no one is receiving.
Yeah.
Everyone is just like that. And, and they just go from like 0 and they're right up there.
Yeah, the sister said he goes from 0 to a raging maniac, the girl.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
And apparently she did not want to tell them everything that happens. Because at first they said she was telling them, I'm afraid it may go there in terms of domestic abuse, like physical abuse. Yeah. And so she will not say. And there's something about him when he talks. He's like, yes, and da-da-da-da. Even if he's talking about abuse and this is what we're doing, he has this smile on his face the entire time while he's talking, it creeps me out. It creeps me out. And then she seems like when she's talking to him, there's something that it's almost like as though we don't know what's going on, but she knows.
We'll be right back. Okay, so apparently, I think
he hits her.
Well, she said that sometimes he will hit her for no reason at all.
Really? Does she hit him?
Yeah, she said that, she had hit me so hard one time that he had to get stitches or whatever.
But who instigates the hitting? Who started hitting who first?
I can see them both being the instigators.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wow. But they didn't want to reveal that.
Well, she didn't or whatever. But it just seemed like she was trying to dangle it in like a carrot
in front of him. Yeah, like,
yeah.
I'm going to reveal this. I'm going to reveal this.
Yeah, and then even on top of that, before when they sat down, whatever, stuff like that, and stuff like, she was like insinuating like, oh, I think I need to be by myself or whatever and stuff. But
right.
You weren't being vulnerable. You weren't saying what you actually had told the family and what you wanted to do. So it just seemed like you were just trying to be petty just to incite him or whatever, stuff like that. And then just coming out and being wrong with saying this
as if she went to him now and then
then she was kissing him and all that. She was like, you know what I want or whatever. And then she got up the next morning like nothing happened.
So it was like, and it's because she's used to violence. And that's why the hostess was telling her, this is a norm for you. And that's the same thing his sister said.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that the sister really let him know, that like you are totally different from who I know to be my brother. you know, and the sister was very insightful.
You tell she watch Ayanla.
Yeah, and some, you know, other people read books and all that. So, you know, we just thank God for Ayanla.
Yes.
You know, but the sister did tell her, and she cried about that when the sister told her, you know, you have to heal that little girl inside.
Yeah.
Because something is going on. And the whole sister told her, she said, you know, is that what happened to you when you were a little girl? And she said, yeah, that violence, yes, that violence that happens. And she was like, you know, I mean, it's like violence like also happens with love, you know, so maybe that's what she has put in her mind, like people who love you are violent. And she said she has a daughter, she doesn't want her daughter to go through the same thing that she did. She said, but the daughter is already going through that. So she has to, and of course the daughter is going to go through that because she has not healed.
Facts.
And he also said that his child also is going through that. So they need to heal so that they don't end up hurting their children who they are already hurting.
Yeah.
But that violence, you know, and the sister did say that, you know, you guys are either going to end up in jail or dead.
Yeah, she did say that.
Because that's where it's going to go. There's no other place. And once that boundary has been crossed, that violence has been crossed, I promise you it will happen again. It will happen again because you built that habit with that partner. Okay, so we'll be right back.
Yeah, they have to stop hurting their kids. But apparently they are going to break up because apparently the violence is pretty high. So... But they're just both looking at each other like, are we really breaking up? Like, we're not going to go have sex right now and make up?
Yeah. And like, I think she also feels like, I think she uses, and the sister did allude to this, like, not because the sex you receive, the sex that you guys have together is like something that you've never experienced before. You know, this is what she's using to have you continually come back. And sometimes women who do that is because they have been told that they're not good for anything but that. And so that's what she thinks that she has to do. And so when he now is saying, I think we need to break up, in her mind, he's saying that not even the sex, your sex can keep me. And that's where she puts her value. And so now she feels not valuable to him. So it's a whole bunch of stuff that she has to resolve within her. She has to go and confront what happened to her as a child, all the abuses that happened to her as a child, and forgive herself for beating herself down in the past, because that's what she has done. She probably has in her mind thought that she deserved to be hurt in the way she was hurt as a child, and that's not true. So she has to forgive herself for that and let herself know that, no, I was a child, I did not deserve this. Cry about it, allow it to heal. And I am more than my body. I am more than giving, you know, sexual favors to people. I'm much more than that. My value does not lie in that. So it's sad, you know, it's sad. And then both of them just don't have the tools right now to deal with this level of trauma. They're really going to need some guidance in that. And he also, on his side, he plays the same game too. This little smiling that he does, just really weird. But it's sad. It's sad. But I'm happy. I'm so happy that they came to this. You know, I'm so happy that everything is out in the open now about the violence, so that they can begin to do that work if they're willing. But right now, the way they're looking at each other in the bathroom and doing their little smiling, oh, there's a mental health expert. Yeah. So another one bites the dust. They called a mental expert. She showed up. The sister said, told her brother, you're not going to be able to stay away from her. You're not going to be able to. And
she was looking at him like it was a challenge. Oh, you going to leave me?
Yes.
Watch me come after you 20 times harder.
Because she had like
a sick smirk just like
both
him.
Both of them have this little sick smile. And her friend took the rings, right? Give me the rings. And the one who took the rings was like, they're not going to stay away from each other. So, and I'll just be there for my friend. And she just sits there with this. She goes between looking really sad, sick smile. Looking really sad, sick smile. And, his name is Corey, by the way. So it's just like, and then he said, so the mental expert said, okay, well, one of you have to leave because the family needs to see that you guys are leaving. There's not going to be any text, nothing for a year. You guys are going to get the counseling and all this stuff. And he was like, yes.
I'll leave.
And he's like, and they said, well, what if she doesn't leave? He said, I will leave. So he goes and he walks to the car, looks
I'm feeling
determined.
good.
He said he feels really strong. And then she is there with her sick smile, sadness, sick smile, sadness. And then then they come up and they say what has happened. Of course, he lied and said, oh, we're not together. We haven't seen each other. But then the family's like, they're still together. And she is not returning producers' calls. So, obviously, they went back together, did not get therapy, aborted the process. And, just like Mel and Martell and Corey and Tara, I just feel bad for the children. Because in the end, if they don't, you see, this is how life works. We all have healing to do. You just have to determine when do you want to do that healing. Do you want to do it in your 20s when you're young and you can go forward and have a fruitful life? Or do you want to do it when you're in your 50s and your 60s when life is passing you by and you have all kinds of regrets and you have wasted your youth? It's up to you. But that work you have to do.
Yeah.
You just have to see if you're going to either try to dull your pain with sex, with drugs, with alcohol, with food. If you're going to dull that pain with that, or are you going to handle it now? If you don't handle it now, it's going to be later, but you will handle it, or you end up just dying unresolved, unfulfilled, never really knowing what you could have been. And you leave in your wake children who continue
the cycle,
your legacy of abuse, your legacy of low self-esteem, your legacy of not meeting your purpose, your legacy of not living your best life. It's just sad. That's who I feel sad for. I feel sad for the children whose parents are too selfish enough to just say, let me do this work. Let me do this work that I gotta do. So at least I start a new legacy. So hopefully, I really hope and pray, because I see so much hurt in both of them, that they will, get there.
You are just so wise. Every time you come on here, you're just dropping gems that, everybody just needs to know about,
Oh, thank you. Such a sweetie.
But, yeah, it's really, really sad, and it's not right. But she kept on looking at him. They kept on looking at each other. And I knew, because at first she dangled that, we need to break up because I have to focus on myself. And then he did it in front of the therapist. Mm-hmm. So it was like a tit for tat. And then when the therapist says like, oh yeah, y'all definitely get broken up, they both kept on looking at each other like, oh shit, are we really about to break up?
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
We were just playing games.
Yeah.
You know? And then it's just like, you know, even his sister said, look, we know this man is not going to stay with you. He might be saying it, but we both know as women that that's not happening.
You know,
you keep on using sex and all this stuff or whatever, and because, you know, men have, you know, a weakness when it comes to that, that's just what that is going on. And he just keeps on, you know, the children. You keep on saying, you were there saying, oh yes, I'm definitely going to do it for my child because my child's on the line. Said it all determined, said it all passionate. Where was the passion when she was calling you?
Yeah.
Where was the passion? And it's just sad because you have a daughter who is going to be seen.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for daughters because, you know, women are people who like to be in love. We like to be with somebody, you know, and they're seeing your sick relationship as their first example of love.
As a norm.
Yeah. And usually when women see like their first example of love, usually that is what happens in their relationships when they start getting into relationships. Yeah. They start to emulate that. Yeah. And it's just unfortunate because you might be going through this and you might be thinking, oh, I'm fine, he hits me, but I hit him back. Well, maybe your daughter is seeing this and maybe, you know, she might take it a different way and she might not be somebody who fights back if she has an abusive boyfriend. Yeah. And she might be the one who ends up dead. Yeah. And then you have to have regrets. Yeah. Or maybe you won't be able to see the regrets because you're so caught up in your own stuff. Yeah. And it's selfish. Yeah. And it's really unfair. And it's unfortunate when you bring children into the world and you haven't done healing. Yeah. You know, that's why I think it's very important for, you know, if you're planning on having a family, make sure you plan it out, but don't put yourself in situations where you bring lives into the world and next thing you know, you're ruining somebody else's life and you're continuing a legacy, you know, and it's just going downhill. It's just very sad, you know.
Sad. So this one has actually made me a little sad.
Yeah, but that friend was like, yeah, I knew it wasn't going to happen. Because that's why he was just sitting there like...
And he was rolling his eyes. Like, his pupils went all the way, like, you couldn't see.
All you could see was the white. He was like...
Eyes. So, they were gone. That was it.
He's like, Lord have mercy. We're going to see how this goes. But I'm going to be there for her.
That was just sad.
It's just unfortunate, and it's stupid. There's nobody else on the planet you could be with. You have to be with him.
They should not even be with anybody else.
No. She is a whole red banner. He's a red banner. And
both of them, yeah.
And if you're that addicted to sex that you can't even see the grass from the trees, you need some therapy.
And this thing of saying you both are alphas, no.
You
can't possibly be an alpha because you both have no
self-control. And no leadership skills.
You can't even control your own self. Before I say you control, you know, institutions and all this stuff. No, you both are alphas.
Or even, you know, you guys, show leadership in a relationship. Both of you are not alphas.
Not at all.
Both of y'all have work y'all need to do.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what people's definition of alpha is, because whenever people say alpha, what's that supposed to be? Strong personality?
No, you know what they think it is? They think it's, you know, I yell and scream at you and I don't take no stuff. I am in your face and I have an attitude and I would lose my mind and I would grab something and I'll throw it at you, or
that's very beta energy.
That's not alpha energy at all.
No.
You know, I don't know why people use that term. So, anyway.
I heard Lil Black Book say something about beta before.
Yeah, he really went into detail
about the beta and the alpha.
You guys should watch Little Black Book.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He has a lot of very good analysis of stuff.
Yeah, you know, he was wrong about Gil though with the Married at First Sight. He finally admitted that he was wrong.
This year I wasn't actually watching him. I used to watch him all the time, but I wasn't watching him this year because of the whole guilt thing. I said, huh? I looked at his son. I said, what? I said, okay. I said, either he's going through some stuff with somebody right now, he is not thinking clearly, you know. Just like when I was talking about Kim, because I knew Kim.
Oh, Kim. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I knew her from, last season.
Yeah, I
she
wasn't liking what
very
I was
calm,
seeing this year.
a peaceful person. So it was like, I just gave Little Black Book, like, I said, I'm going to give him a pass because I have known him for 1 year and he has not been this off.
He was out there somewhere.
Yeah. Like, Kimmy, this season, she has been off.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like her at all this season. This was from what I was seeing,
going on with her, I think, in her marriage.
Yeah.
She hasn't really been...
But she's been projecting,
she has
though.
to be... she has to be very honest with Maurice. Like, she has to tell him, like, look, this is important to me. I don't want you patting my head. The way you're behaving, this is not cool. Like, she...
But the thing is...
I don't know how she can do that.
The thing is, she needs to take a page out of Tisha's book. Tisha might be...
Therapist.
No. Yes, she needs to go to a therapist. But the thing is, she's not vulnerable. She's not willing to be open. Because she even told Tisha, hey, as women who are with men who are Scots or entrepreneurs, we just have to take some stuff or whatever. Tisha
told her that?
Yeah, at the Las Vegas stuff or whatever stuff. She said, sometimes you just have to go through certain things or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, we have to kind of be there for each other.
Almost like it's almost as if she's afraid that this is what I got the feeling, even last season, I got the feeling that she's almost afraid to like say it all in the way that she's feeling, as emotional as she's feeling.
She's not
because
vulnerable.
I don't know. I think she's afraid of maybe losing him or something.
I just think the thing is she's not willing to be vulnerable. Tisha may be quote unquote overly emotional, but the thing is, I actually think it's a beautiful thing when people are in tune with their emotions. If you have to cry, cry. If you're upset, be upset or whatever.
Yeah.
Courtney,
Tisha
she
really
used
has that feminine energy that she,
Yeah, but not even feminine energy, but it's just about being in tune with yourself. Courtney,
that is so
she
true.
used to, when she was with Scott Disick, she was very cold. She had no emotions or whatever.
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, she was very cold. She had no emotions. Now she's at a point where she's able to cry. If something bothers her, she goes and she says it. So...
You know what I think it is? She feels safe. Maybe she feels safe to
I mean,
say it
when
now.
Kim cussed her out, she was still... I don't think she felt safe there, but she was able to talk. She was able to... I mean, even if you don't feel safe, you should be able to express yourself.
She knows who she is.
Yeah, she's confident in that.
That she's worthy to be heard.
Yeah, Kimmy just... Yeah, I don't think
feelings.
she's not at a place where she's able to be vulnerable or emotional. Tisha, she's able to do that.
It seems as though she's afraid to be emotional.
And she doesn't want to go therapy.
Maurice, because Maurice has a way, without yelling, he has a way of dismissing her. He doesn't raise his voice, but he's still dismissive of Kim.
Well, Tisha's husband does the same thing to her, but she still expresses herself, though.
She still expresses herself.
Kimmy just doesn't. She's just like, okay, whatever. And that's the thing. You have to be able to, be emotional, and that's why. And it's just weird because this man's talking about how his wife is competing with his work. No, you're creating a competition.
Yeah.
So it's just like that weird dynamic. Like all of a sudden you've made in your mind that she's competing.
Yeah.
No, she just don't say nothing, but she's not really competing.
And but the thing is,
and you're creating it.
Even when she says something, you just
he
watch
just
Maurice how he rolls.
He's checked out
when Kim is trying to talk to him.
He's definitely checked out.
He will talk her out of what she's trying to say, as if, as if her, her feelings and all that. I remember last season, and I can't remember what she was crying about, but she was trying to talk to him, and I think it was with his ex-wife, and the whole Monster thing, and he wanted Monster to come live with him.
Who is Monster?
That's his son. I don't know what his real name is, but they call him Monster. But I remember she was sitting down at some cabin, I remember, and tears were just falling down her one corner eye. You know those tears that come one at a time. It's like that when you feel that deep hurt. And because he wasn't listening to her. He had his mind set on whatever, and he was not listening to her at all. I think that Kimmy and Tisha can actually be really good friends. Because Kimmy can learn from Tisha. And Tisha can learn from Kimmy. Like,
I think there's a little jealousy there because she sees how Tisha is able to be vulnerable and she's able to talk to him. He might not, give her what she needs or the support, but she's at least able to talk to him. I don't know if that's jealousy or whatever it is, but it's just she seems to be really triggered by Tisha this season. And she's been projecting a lot, especially when she was talking to them about how, oh, you need to go therapy and you should be talking to your spouse. She was like, well, it could be your spouse that's the issue. Are you trying to talk to Maurice?
Kimmy, seriously, you need to take more read. I will say, something.
She needs to go to therapy, figure out how she can talk to this man, and then they need couples therapy together.
And you know what? It will help. It will really help Kimmy. You know why? Because finally she will have a professional
to help her express herself.
Well, not only that, she will have a professional say her feelings are valid. Maurice is not doing that for her.
No.
He's not doing that for her at all.
Yeah.
And he is beginning to really piss me off.
Yeah, that was so weird, talking about his wife is competing. I'm sorry, I'm your wife. I'm not your effing job. I'm not trying to compete with what you do at work. I'm here to be your safe haven.
And he's here talking to Masao, and he's
don't
like,
even make sense.
We have to take a leadership role and blah, 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 blah,
I'm
blah.
like, okay.
And, I got to evaluate myself. I just need to really see all the stuff you said to Masao. I need to see you, Maurice, really apply it when it comes to you and your wife. And be quiet. Be quiet. Don't try to take the lead in it. Just lock it up and let her speak and really hear her.
Yeah.
So he's getting,
And my issue with the two brothers is that they really just place their value as working rather than on other things. Being a man does not just solely mean being a provider, but you also have to be able to be loved at home. You also have to be able to have a good relationship with your wife, with your kids, and you have to be able to be present where it matters. Your job is your job, but your family is what's going to be there to continue your legacy. Exactly. Your job isn't what's going to keep your legacy going or whatever. So I just feel like they just put two...
cannot just be that,
I'm great at my job and I've done this.
All my children got an education. All of them have good jobs. No. Your legacy has to be more than that. It has to be, I was a father that brought out the best in my children.
And helped them to be the best version of themselves.
Who was a safe spot for my wife to lean on.
Yeah.
The happiness in our home started and ended with me. Those are the things to really be proud of.
Can we also talk about how this guy just don't want to be at home?
No, Marcel don't want to be at home. He don't want to be at home.
He don't want to be at home. No.
No. His whole thing, when Maurice is talking about evaluate, what? No. When it comes to home, no. I don't have to evaluate anything at home. Home is for Tisha. Last season, he told her. Yeah. Last season, he pretty much let Tisha know.
That's why he has you at home. That's why you not working. Yeah. You are at home, so I ain't gotta even think about it.
And the kids, no, anything to do with the home, I don't need to know, and I don't want to know. How about that? Okay, I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part out of the home, which is so funny. He honestly believes that his part is. How are you as a father and a leader
and a husband?
How is your role out of the home alone? Does that even make any sense?
But that's how those two brothers think. I don't know what happened in their childhood or whatever, but they got a effed up way of thinking what a man should be.
There are a lot of men who are thinking that.
I'm not saying it's bad though. I love a man that can be a provider. Yeah. That's amazing because there's a lot of Dusties who don't even want to take a woman out to dinner. And who are also talking about how should a woman pay on a date. If you ask me out, I'm not paying for a date. Even if I ask you on a date, you are the man, you better be paying. Anyway, like I said before, I feel horrible for people who are out here dating.
Yeah. Whew. Especially,
Yeah.
Well, dating Dusties or...
just dating, period, because it's too much going on.
But you know what I'm so happy about? One thing I can definitely say, I am so happy that there are these YouTube channels and there are these shows where you get so much advice and stuff.
Universe
and I'm so
Guru,
happy.
I love her.
Yes, I am so happy just to see this stuff happening because it's really helping young women. So the stuff that we went through, I don't expect them to go through. So the future is really looking bright for women and for men too,
and
because they're learning about
the
tools of relationships.
A lot of women back in the day will be okay with a man not paying for a date, but a lot of women are now saying, no, you need to be a provider, you need to be paying for dates and stuff, and men are losing their shit, because they're like, what the F? Where do these standards come from? And why do I have to do it? A lot of dusties out here in the street.
And you know, there are the dusties, and we've seen a few, and then there are also some really good ones too.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I've seen nothing but good men in my family that take care of their wives, are great husbands, and, you know, great fathers as well. So, I mean, I used to relate, but I can't no more. Thank God.
I didn't even hear you. What did you say?
Used to relate to the dust women who have to be with dusties and stuff. I don't relate no more. But, you know, it's just, it's too much going on in the streets.
But
how we get to Huntsville?
I know we were talking about our fiance. We have gone all
around.
From
China to Japan, Tokyo, and then back to Africa.
We went to Africa. We passed through Africa. We may have gone through Australia, and now we're back in the U.S. Okay.
But the family or fiance, very sad about the physical abuse, and it's sad when women see.
I'm gonna make a prayer for them today.
I'm praying for the kids. Yeah, and them for sure. But it's just sad when women find their value in being sexual. You know, it's just it causes nothing but heartache.
So much more
than your body.
Whoever told you that, Tara, they lied to you.
They did.
They lied to you. They were perverts, and I'm sorry you went through that kind of abuse. Nobody should have to go through sexual abuse as a child, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm very sorry that happened to you, and I'm going to be making a prayer for you and Corey. Okay?
May you guys find the light.
Yeah. Somewhere. It's there.
It's out there somewhere.
Somewhere. Over the ocean. No, it's not even over the ocean. What is it? Somewhere.
Anyways,
we got to go. We're not taking another trip.
No.
So it is.
Oh, Mary
and Amma.
Thank you for watching.
Which way did I?
And sound off in the comments below what y'all think about Dusties. What y'all think about the family or fiance.
And what
Do you
think
watch
about what we said about you know, your comments? We love your comments.
Yeah, we love reading them and then getting the little getting a little conversation going.
To like and subscribe and comment.
Yes. We are trying to reply as many as possible.
Yes.
But yes, thank you guys for watching and going on our little weird trip. Good night. What's up, you guys? We are back. It's Mary.
And Amma.
And we are reviewing Huntsville. All right.
And
so
sorry, my hair is like this. It's just wet and I'm just trying to dry it.
Yeah. Okay. So we are going to get right into Huntsville today.
Yeah, what's up?
Melody has to come talk to Martell, it seems.
Okay.
I mean, you said it's important, so it's about the kids.
Oh! It ain't about the kids.
Okay, really? It's only one reason Melody could want to come over here and
I don't know why she needs to come to his job site to come talk to him.
And then she appeared. I
feel like they both do drama stuff sometimes.
Well, let me see what's going on.
Anyway.
Because she hasn't done that before.
Well, she did it at the meeting. You weren't down here watching it, but they were at the meeting. They were talking about it, whatever stuff. And I guess she was upset about him having a meeting with him and Marcel and the real estate agent about things
to themselves.
Yeah, so she finally brought it up here, and she was like, I don't know, just doing like a little bit tidbit petty kind of stuff or whatever. And then they started the whole argument in front of everybody, and then she was like, you know, in 2019 I wanted to do this. I didn't want to work with him or something like that. And he was like, do what? Neglect the kids? And that's when he walked out to drop the bomb or whatever, and then went.
Okay, let's
see what Melanie got talking about.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Lord
Thank
mercy.
you for, I guess, taking time out your work schedule.
Oh, no, it's good.
So I wanted to talk to you. for a moment about what happened at Bridge Street?
At Bree Street.
During Walmart.
Come on.
Okay.
I'm getting tired of these commercials.
Alrighty.
Anyway,
So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
let's rewind.
And to go from the beginning, they were
yeah.
in this meeting. You said Mel was being a little petty. I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
I came in when Martel left the office and he was
Yeah.
upset one with the children.
That's after he has said that she has been neglecting the kids since 2019 or something.
Oh.
Yet
okay,
you called
wow.
her on the phone to take care of Mariah when she started crying. This
Okay.
man, you have...
So it's like both of them doing stuff.
Mel does it sometimes, but most of the time she doesn't really be doing nothing. I just think sometimes when she hadn't talked to him about it, you know, but she decided to talk to him about it in the meeting. And it kind of went into a whole, like, argument or whatever and stuff.
They need to, I think what they need to have is like a mediator in all communication, at least for the next year or two.
Next year and a half.
Oh my goodness, what's going on? I hope he's not eating like a spider or something. Like she was.
Move, done it!
Okay. Anyway, okay. No, we're not doing that because something is there. Anyway,
She could have just been licking her paw. Anyway, we digress.
yes. So I think they need a mediator. That's what they need, especially when where the children are involved. Like if she has to give him, you know, the kids, like he's coming or she's coming for the children, I think a mediator has to be there just to kind of navigate all of that, you know? But yeah. I think that will help at least for the next year. And I am actually happy that she told Kim and Tisha
that she does not want to be in the same room with him. Because that's just what it is.
Yeah, because they both are triggering each other. Now, I haven't seen her doing like I didn't see what you saw earlier because I got down here later. I was finishing up to, wash my hair.
Yeah, I think she was just upset about the whole thing, and then of course they had to do a comeback meeting or whatever about, the land or whatever and stuff. So I guess she just wanted to kind of say her piece or whatever at that time.
And I think I also remember, I think when they have been all in the group together, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that when they were in the group together, it seems like Mel did, this is from last season, I remember a time when she was saying that she does a lot of the work for the group, and they depend on her a lot. So, and it seems to me now that Marcel was saying that he does not want to work with Martel anymore because Martel cannot control himself. Now, I don't know. He didn't say if he wants to continue to work with Mel, because I know Mel is the one that has a license.
Well, he didn't say nothing about Mel.
And,
he said,
Marcel doesn't.
Okay,
there is something there.
They keep on playing with a drawstring. Hold on, wait.
For a moment.
Okay.
About what happened.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
All right,
At Bridge Street.
At Bree Street. Okay.
So I want us to have a conversation about boundaries, about respect, and what that looks like for us when it comes to us. Because what happened was out of line. Totally out of line.
At Bree Street.
He's already exhausted of the conversation.
It's like
What happened
when you
in
do
Bree
something,
Street?
it's cool. Like you do stuff all the time on social media.
Like what?
I'm saying when I even mentioned I had a baby or something like that. You went straight to social media.
I guess
now
everybody
when
knows
I
you had a
see
baby
with
because.
Why are you stalking her social media if it gets you so upset?
Okay, I see.
Hell yeah. I'm like, what's up, man? So you walked over there, we talked.
Yeah.
And I told you I was coming over to Condos where you was going to be
You
at.
didn't tell me you were coming home. You said, where y'all going?
I said, I'll be over there.
No.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
No.
I had all the intentions to come over there.
For what?
Because I wanted to. I saw her at a restaurant.
Okay.
She said she was on a date. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, so
But
she
you
was
had
on a
whole
date.
business meeting. Somebody you told me flew in from LA. So you step out of a business meeting deal possibility to address your ex-wife about her being out in public with someone, and you got them waiting on you. Then you probably ended the damn meeting in 15 minutes just to
It don't matter.
It does matter. So this is what I'm saying. When you talk about your business reputation and trying to get things back however you want them to be, that's
Stop doing
childish.
stuff. Everything you're doing, especially on social media, is childish. I'm much rather do something in your face.
Zero accountability.
In your presence than hide behind.
This man.
Martell, I have not
So
ever
she was on a date?
on social media.
Is he
Like you
stalking
literally
her?
was
Mom,
you
stalking is an
Or the
understatement.
other day I said I'm walking out at Bridge Street. Oh, now you're gonna be my wife again.
No, I ain't said I want you to be my
Okay,
wife again.
okay, Martell.
This man a liar.
Whatever you like to say.
I don't
Oh
want you
my
to be my wife
goodness.
again.
That's not what you
talking-
just said.
I just said I don't want you to be my wife again. I told you that before.
That's not what you just said.
What I've said in the past is only way that I will be with you is only because of my children.
Martell, Hope.
No, don't bring up
Why
the
are you
text.
discussing stuff like this? I mean, you trying to get
What
you
do you
doing some
mean?
airtime?
What do you mean?
Like what? That.
What's fine?
That's what you flowing with at our favorite restaurant. How you gonna take another dude
At your
like a
favorite
family-
restaurants,
No, that's
Mattel?
family favorite
He has a
restaurant.
picture of the dude.
Let me
Like that.
Let me be clear.
Like that.
He took a picture of his date.
Look at that.
Last I
I know,
checked,
but do better.
I'm
Do
single.
better.
No, you really
No,
need
no,
to
do
do
better.
better. And what you should be doing is worrying about what you was doing while you were married and out here in these Huntsville streets.
You too.
So
You
I'm
did the same
single.
thing.
No, I
You
did
did the
not.
same thing
You're
I did.
lying. No, I did
No,
not.
you did. I got
Prove
that.
it. You don't see me calling all you don't see me calling all the women over the state to state that you got to sleep with. You don't see me saying anything about them.
Hey, look,
Prove it.
people around.
Tell the truth.
People
What we're
around.
talking.
I'm sorry.
Pulling up the little video. Thank you. Because what was you recording us for? For what? You're being disrespectful.
Of course I'm gonna be disrespectful.
For
Okay.
what?
Because
I'm
I'm
not your woman no more. So what you being disrespectful for?
He like dumbfounded. He's a
Oh my goodness.
God.
gracious,
This
Martell.
man is
So, speaking of Kai,
Whew.
I just didn't like the fact that she was slandering your name.
Kyla knew it wasn't true.
She knew
Everybody knew it
well,
wasn't true.
your sister-in-law, Tisha, she didn't have your back.
Hey, man.
Why Tisha gotta defend Kim when Kim always shading
She
her?
wanted us to
I
help you guys get better with your money communication.
To get better with what?
Martell, we went to
I don't know.
therapy for a guy session, I guess, with Dr. Francis, and he said that I'm mixing my work as my second wife.
We've never like
This man is stuck
had
on
a
that line.
conversation. But I was like, I don't know anything negative about Tiffany. I know she was, married one time. She's divorced. I know we've been talking about like sponsorship, and I never received a check from you. Yeah.
That was underneath the bus.
Well, you did reply to the text message.
It doesn't matter when the check came.
We still talking about this damn text.
And we wrote a check.
Why are we still talking about this text message?
Yeah.
4 episodes later.
Okay, let's put it on. Let's
Huntsville.
Mama, put it on off so we can
Hold on, wait.
discuss.
There's my story.
Let's just rewind.
This story.
I'm the person who built the house.
And then there's the truth. Let me be clear. I'm single. This is the melody and Martell of it all.
Love and Marriage Huntsville, Saturday at 9 a.m.
Okay.
in front of
So
Real
let's
Okay.
just put it on mute.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Oh,
Man,
okay.
it's not the one we want. Anyway, we'll see
That
what
is
happens.
the one I think that we
No,
wanted to do.
it wasn't
We're-
this dreadhead. It was another
Mama,
dreadhead.
do you know that this is on?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. But we want to finish talking about. We'll come back.
yes,
Let's go ahead and watch this. But we will be right back. Mama, press
Okay.
stop, please.
Okay, so we're gonna start with we are talking about the meeting. So I guess we
Yes.
should talk about
And
the fact that
daughter crying. That was really sad. You know.
Oh yeah,
that
you wanted
daughter
to talk about
crying.
Martell.
Yeah, that was really sad.
Yeah.
And what struck me was the fact that he wants to have the children
Full
full
time.
time, yet he's unable to, because he just left and then called her right away, and he's unable to calm his daughter down on his own.
And he said something about
And
him wanting to go home in peace.
And Mel was able to get her daughter take her into the building on her own and calm her down on her own. And Martell was not able to do that on his own when he had the children. So I don't know how he's thinking that him having the children full time will work. So, and it was interesting what Mel said about she thinks the daughter felt the energy because he was very upset when he left the office to go get the children. So, you know, at this point, I think they both need a mediator. They just need to have a mediator with them at all times, at least for the next year. That has to be some kind of judgment or something. And even when they talk on the phone, you know, there should be a 3-way call also. Just every single meeting. That way the children are handed over safely, you know, with respect for their emotional space, and, you know, and that's just what they have to do. And then the other thing, which is just so, let me tell you, any relationship, there's always 2 sides to each story, or 3 sides to each story. Like Melody will say, there is his side, my side, and then there's the truth. But the whole thing, when she talked about him, when he was at a business
Lord
meeting.
have mercy. This man was in the car getting ready to go to a business meeting.
Date.
Out in public with another man at supposedly their favorite restaurant.
He
said,
took pictures
of the guy.
So silly.
And then shoved it in her face.
Like, and then obviously acted up while he was there, because she said he was very disrespectful. And he's like, of course I'm disrespectful. And she's like,
she said, because I want to be or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not your wife anymore.
And he was like,
he just, like, as though he just heard that. So I don't know what's going on. I think Martell
it's very
is
weird.
So hurt.
I think he's so obsessed with
because
her.
He had and the thing is, he had cheated on her many times. Because the first season that I saw, he had cheated on her many times, and she continued to take him back, and he just thought this was going to happen again. This was just par for the course. You know, she'll be upset, she may leave him, she'll come back, and they'll be together. She'll never file for divorce, she'll always threaten him. And then this time, she did. And he's having a hard time dealing with that. And sometimes when that happens, he goes out of his way to, you know, get her irate, because then he can see that, oh, well, she's getting emotional. Whether he rather have an emotional Mel than a Mel who is just cold towards him. He rather have a negative, like, communication with her than no communication at all.
Yeah.
And he's acting like a child. It's like he's unable. Just like what Marceau said. Like, I cannot be in business with someone who does not have control over themselves. Who can go from 0 to 1,000 like that.
Yeah.
You know.
He has no self-control whatsoever.
And I'm not saying that Melody's squeaky clean, but at this point, I don't know.
Melody has triggers,
if,
for sure, when it comes to
any judge
Martell.
is going to give him full custody.
There's no way in hell.
I don't think, because you're following her, you're taking pictures of her date, you save it on your phone. What is that for? So bizarre. So bizarre. You're following her on her social media. I mean,
and then
like,
every single time you see her, you have some issue with her social media.
Because-
Stop following her. Block her. If you are so, like, affected.
He doesn't care. And negative communication from her is better than no communication at all.
Yeah.
He's so used to the bad, you know, stuff with her. He just wants to keep it going. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Because I guess for some sick way, it still makes him feel connected to her. If she
Yes.
can get emotional and
Yes.
all
Yes.
out of her element if
Yes.
she's not talking to him.
Exactly.
You know? So
that
it's
is it
just
with them. And then when we come back, we will talk about Kimmy and what's the girl's name? Kimmy and Tasha. What's her name?
Tisha.
Tisha. Okay, so my
Yeah. So we are going to talk about Tisha and Kimmy.
Okay.
What you guys say?
Well, last season, I really liked Kimmy. I thought that of everyone, she was the most level-headed, and she was like a peacemaker. And I resonated with that, This season, and I haven't watched this whole season, but this season, I don't know what happened between Kimmy and Tisha. And you guys in the comments, let me know, because I'm not sure what happened between Kimmy and Tisha. Because Kimmy just seems very angry. She seems very easily triggered by Tisha. Now, yeah, Tisha has her thing. She's, extra sensitive. Sometimes she kind of goes in little circles. Cries at the drop of the hat sometimes.
That's
she
not a bad
can
thing.
be kind of just stressful, when you deal with her. But she has always been like that, so that's consistent. But with Kimmy, I wonder what's going on with her. She seems very angry this season, and I'm just wondering if, remember I was saying the other day that it just seems like Maurice puts a lot on her. And
yeah, I think there might be something going on with her marriage.
It doesn't seem as though he takes the time to listen to her.
No.
When she's even asking for help, and he kind of gives her a little pat on the head kind of thing, like a little child, like, oh, okay, mwah, bye.
Yeah.
And goes about his business until the next time when she wants to talk. And I'm happy that he went to therapy. I hope he continues with therapy. What I would love to see is if he will actually bring Kimmy.
I think he needs to go to therapy on his own and then have therapy.
But he also needs to have therapy with her so that she can be there with a therapist, tell him her issues, and the therapist is able to break it down for him to understand. Because when she's just there talking to Maurice, something is not working. So I think there's something going on with Kimmy. And Keisha is triggering her, because I noticed that when she was talking about the money and the check or whatever it is, and I like the way Tisha was just like, okay, it was just a text that I sent, but maybe I could have done it a different way or whatever. Tisha just pretty much agreed with whatever Kimmy was saying so that they can move on. And Kim seemed taken aback, but at the same time, I think she was upset that it seems like Mel was agreeing with Tisha. And even when Mel was like, oh, let's come and give each other a hug, she was not really feeling that hug. So Kim, I think, because her husband is not listening to her, she doesn't feel heard with her husband. She's easily triggered when her friends are not hearing her, because this is what she's dealing with on a regular basis with Maurice. So, and then also that anger she showed to Tisha's mother, who's an elder. I didn't think that was cool at all, regardless what Miss Wondon said or did. If she wasn't cursing you, there was no need for you to be pounding your hand on the table and being all up in her face. I thought that was out of pocket for her to do, but that's my thing about Kimmy. But I think it goes deeper than just, one of the girls. She feels unheard in her relationship, and so she's easily triggered when her friends do it. So that's it about. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No. But Martell, you are out of pocket and you need therapy and you need to release that woman. She ain't your woman no more. Release her. But yeah.
So that is it for our theme. We're about to watch Family and
Fiance, and we're gonna do a review on that.
Yes.
But it is Mary
And Amma.
And thank you for watching.
Yes, and the little hat will be back next time. You know, I was just drying out my hair and it's still kind of wet.
Yeah. But thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.